everybody, and welcome to Gamers Without Borders. It is Monday, June 10th, 2013. This is TestZero, and with me today is the Achievement Whore, Johnny Chase.
I don't know how long I'll be keeping that moniker, but we'll be talking about that later.
And from the Two Nerds podcast, we have Ozzie Arcane.
Greetings, everyone. I was planning on being your cynical bastard for the night, but I'm actually in a relatively good mood after some of the stuff we saw.
And if you can't guess, we are going to be talking about the E3 conference Day 1, which consisted of Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and Sony. Why don't we get started with, of course, Microsoft? Yes, Johnny, you seem like you have a lot to say about this subject.
Yeah. Well, let's go first. They first took the first 5 minutes to talk about their continued support of the 360, unveiling a smaller, slimmer one that you can get today, when in actuality you can just pre-order it today. Apparently, it's basically the slim, just smaller. It's the 4 gig one too. So I don't even know if they're going to have another SKU, another model that will give you a hard drive.
There's going to be a couple of SKUs. The 4 gigabyte there's going to be the 4 gigabyte. There's going to be the 250 gigabyte, and then there's the 4 gigabyte with Connect. The 250 and the 4 with Connect are the same price. It's $100 more.
So the exact same thing we get now.
It's the exact same price as the current one, but it's just the new model.
Yeah, and they talked about a few other games that are going to be coming up for the 360, and something for gold members for the 360 is that they're going to start offering games on a few choice titles for free on Games on Demand. And they announced that a couple of the titles will be Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3.
So
thank you so much, Microsoft, for the free games that are 5 years old that I've already played.
Well, at least they're finally taking a cue from Sony on something, because PlayStation Plus has been doing that for over a year.
Yeah, a little late to the party, but that was pretty much it for the 360. So we're on to the Xbox One, and like they said a couple weeks ago at their press event when they just showed the console, today was all about the games. They were a little bit sneaky. They did put some smart glass stuff in there and some of the other extra features. Some of the games they announced, well, some of them we already knew about thanks to that leaked photo. Well, we already know about Forza 5, Dead Rising 3. Yeah, just another old racing game.
And when Forza 5 came out, I actually said, did we even actually see Forza 4? Because I remember them teasing the hell out of Forza 4 on how many different innovations they're going to make, and I never even saw anything about it coming out. Apparently it did.
I'm pretty sure it did. If they're up to, they would have to if there's 5.
But none of us remember it fucking coming out. I guess none of us are into racing games, I guess.
We also got, actually, even before they started talking about the 360, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain,
which is
going to be coming on the Xbox One.
Which they teased in a previous press conference that they only called the Phantom Pain. But a lot of people made the connection that the little invisible areas above, you can fit Metal Gear Solid in there. So
yeah, and I think this is also, I don't know if Ground Zeroes is coming out again, or if they just kind of scrapped everything and just melded it in together and say, okay, this is Metal Gear Solid 5 now.
Metal Gear Solid 5 actually looks pretty cool with the open world concept going on. And I'd like the trailer that they have where the guy just kind of leaves him there on the horse. It's like, this area is yours to conquer. Get to it, bitch.
Of course, there's a lot of people mad that Snake is not going to have his usual voice actor.
Yeah, David Hayter's not going to be voicing Snake. It's actually going to Kiefer Sutherland.
Really, Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, they actually announced this at the one of the events, Konami's event a couple days ago. They announced that it's going to be Kiefer Sutherland doing the voice of, is he called? I think it's Punished
Snake, I think.
Punished Snake, yeah. Now, a lot of people are thinking that this is a clone.
You don't want to end with a word that ends almost in S and then start the next word with Snake. Punished Snake. It just doesn't flow.
Yeah, and another thing, too, though, a lot of people are speculating that this isn't really... this isn't Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3. They're thinking that this might be a clone. But didn't they establish in 4 that Solid Snake and Liquid weren't clones, that they were born of was it Eva?
It's like the movie Twins.
I'm going to have trouble commenting on this because I've never actually played any of the Metal Gear Solid games.
I've only played the first Metal Gear Solid, and I will say it was the best movie I ever played. That's not a stab at the Metal Gear Solid series.
Obviously haven't watched 4.
It is very much like a movie, but it plays really well. I don't tend to like stealth action games pretty much at all. I fucking hated stuff like I suck at Splinter Cell, if you've seen my brief Let's Play of that. I don't like things like Metro 2033, especially games that don't give any kind of feedback to your stealth. I really liked a Deus Ex Human Revolution because you can actually upgrade your HUD and actually see where people are looking. I like that in stealth games. I don't like stealth games where you can't tell if you're fucking hidden or not.
What else do we have? I'm just going through the list right now.
Rise,
one of them that they confirmed on that leaked image that went out a few days ago before the event. Dead Rising 3.
Dead Rising 3 looks
Capcom.
pretty damn cool. Looks fun as hell. Too bad I will never play it.
Yeah, I'd have a lot of trouble getting interested in Dead Rising 3 unless part of the game's announcement was, hey, we got rid of the clock.
I don't know if there is a... They didn't say anything about the clock, but it does seem to be fairly open world, so I don't know if there is any kind of time limit for the character.
There has been in every previous game, and the series creators said that he would never get rid of it, so...
No.
I'm just going through the list of other games here. Oh, we got... he didn't really confirm this, but there's gameplay footage of Rise.
They did show Rise. Rise looks really cool. I've never seen anything like that from Crytek. They did Far Cry, they did Crysis, and those were all first-person shooters. Rise seems like it's sort of a third-person action game, sort of like God of War, but a lot more. But that's actually very much like God of War, but it's a lot more chunky combat, and it's not about racking up your combos. It's about dealing with enemies in such a way. But it does have a lot of quick time events. It showed a lot of quick time events in the video.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy that it's no longer a first-person Kinect-only game, which it was teased.
It's going to be using a controller, thankfully.
Yeah, it was either last year or 2 years ago. It was shown at E3 as a first-person Kinect game. Another thing I found interesting, besides the Project Spark, really not a whole lot of, hey, this works with Kinect, or here's a Kinect game.
Yeah, they haven't been pushing the Kinect all that much, even though it's going to be a major component of the Xbox One.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that while the Kinect did make them quite a bit of money, the current Kinect doesn't really have a good selection of games at all. And they're making the thing mandatory for the next console, and they're not really making any games that are Kinect games.
Well, you can turn it off or pause it. They admitted that it still has to be plugged in, but you can turn it off.
You can only do it through software. You can't actually disconnect it from the system.
But that Project Spark, at the end when they're showing I guess what Project Spark is it's a game creation tool, so you can make worlds and things like that. And I've seen when they showed at the end, it's like, oh, look at all these things that people have already made with this Project Spark, and I just saw people cloning Pac-Man and all that, and I'm just like, and I put it out on Twitter. I said, hey kids, don't feel like buying Pac-Man for the millionth time? Well, just make it on Project Spark. Not that hard.
There's a lot of
you got
the internet blew their collective loads when they announced Killer Instinct.
Yes, Killer Instinct is returning, and it's going to be an Xbox One exclusive. I am so glad I'm not a Killer Instinct fan.
It hurts me because I really wanted that on the 360 before they kind of killed over, but no, it's going on that. And actually, in that I guess they announced that Mad Cat's tournament sticks for Xbox One will launch when Killer Instinct launches. I don't think they said that Killer Instinct's going to be a launch title. They said it's coming. And also within the demonstration of Right. Well, in the demonstration of Killer Instinct, they actually showed off actually something that's pretty cool and something that I do as a hobby here and there is I stream to Twitch TV. They're going to have something built into it. And looking at the image here, I'm just pulling it up on my screen here. Basically, you'll be able to do everything that you can do on Twitch already. You can, change the title to let people know what you're casting. You can mute the microphone, so if you don't want to chat with anyone, you can. And it looks like you'll be able to snap everything in with audience chat, so you can actually interact with people. So
That's
for people
useful,
yeah,
when I've streamed, I haven't been able to view the chat at the same time and get a decent frame rate on my games.
For me, my setup for streaming anything, old consoles, current consoles, it's kind of a nightmare. I have to leave. I use a XSplit to upload or to stream to Twitch, and I can't have the chat open at the same time because that just kills my processor. So I have to actually open up a laptop. And I find that better too. That way I don't have to sit at the desk. I can just sit on my couch.
Yeah.
And enjoy playing the game like that. So this will be cool for people that don't want to go out and spend $200+ on a capture device and microphones
like
and things like that
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also means this is something that does really kind of bother me about these kind of stuff, where you can do you have all these options to do like instant streaming and everything, but streaming and video editing is supposed to be something of a hurdle. I mean, you have to know that the person is somewhat decent enough at creating this stuff. Otherwise, they're not really going to be able to make videos that you actually want to watch. The editing on these things is going to be horrible. I mean, we all saw how good Microsoft is at making a video editing software with fucking Windows Movie Maker. So I can't, and if this thing is going to be done right on the console, I can't imagine the video editing will be all that complex. So it's just about finding highlights from your stuff. So, but you can just think about how many fucking people are going to be launching their own video game channels on YouTube now, of just like Black Ops 12 footage.
I don't think it allows you to record. I think it just allows you to stream to Twitch.
Yeah, the Twitch app will allow you to stream to Twitch, but there is
no, they showed that on the Xbox One footage. In a later one. I was watching the Killer Instinct fight. They actually recorded the fight, and then he decided to share it up on his account.
And it did its own little editing. It's like, oh, look, here's the not quite ultra combo. I was like, when you're showing, here's the thing: when you're showing Killer Instinct, you gotta get someone on there that can do ultra combo. People want to hear ultra combo.
They didn't say anything. They didn't have any kind of combos. They didn't really have any announced. I know it was probably like an early build, but still.
Well, if the game itself has a feature for you to upload to YouTube, there are already games on the current generation of consoles that allow you to do that.
Yeah, I know. There's stuff that does that. I mean, Frozen Synapse has that. I have a couple of videos on my account for that.
Now I was watching this at work, and I just let out a collective groan when I heard this, and people asked me, it's like, what's going on? I'm like, they just announced for Xbox One Minecraft Xbox One edition. Notch, I am not paying for your game again. I have it on the PC and I have it on the 360. I am not buying it again.
He's already a millionaire. He doesn't need your money.
It's just they didn't really announce anything special about it. It's going to be what the graphics aren't going to be any better. It's going to be the same. It's still Minecraft. It's just going to be like, oh, the world's going to be bigger. I'm like, what be?
Wow.
You know the real reason
there was a world limit on the Xbox 360 version.
Well, there was a distance. Like you can only go out so far, and then
it's just like you'll hit a wall or something, or what?
No, not really a wall. It'll just be like endless ocean. You can't go out any further than that.
I think the real reason they're doing it is because they know there's going to be no backwards compatibility.
Exactly, and
so you won't. You can't even play your old Xbox Live Arcade games.
No, nothing will transfer over.
Well, fuck that. I was pretty much on the fence on not getting the Xbox One to begin with, but yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. Oh, and they've also made changes. They've also detailed some changes to Xbox Live membership. Well, not really membership. I think you're still going to have to pay the annual fees.
Yeah, they
like,
never did
if they
say
said it's
whether
like,
or not you can play online with gold, but I don't see them changing that anytime soon because people are still willing to pay it.
yeah,
The only reason they are still charging is because they're making money from it.
no, what they did change though is your Xbox friends list. Currently, right now on the 360, you can only have 100 friends. Only 100 friends. I know. I guess there's like the popular people that
I think I
want
know
more.
like 5 people on
But
Xbox.
I guess for the Xbox One, they're going to up that to 1,000 friends. And boy, howdy, are you going to need that to get around all that stupid used game trading licensing bullshit.
Oh man.
Wow. Also, they're finally eliminating Microsoft points. So no longer 400, 800, 1,200 for XBLA title.
So
It's going to be like real currency.
although the only downside to that is you have been in the past been able to buy point cards at a discounted price from certain retailers.
You also didn't have to pay tax on the points.
That's also true. Yes.
Yeah, just straight out cash now. Which is fine because there
So
are times
the
like
only
right now
system
I've
that's still
got
doing that now is the Wii U, is using their own point system.
No, actually, that's the thing. This makes me wonder if this is going to be if the no more Microsoft points will be for the Xbox One or if it's going to be for the 360 as well.
it's for
Because
the 360 as well.
because Nintendo said they were going to get rid of Wii points.
They're getting rid of a lot of features of the Nintendo Network as well.
But if you're using the Wii Shop channel, you still have to use Wii points, even if you're on the Wii U. If you access the eShop, the Wii U eShop, it's dollars. And they don't and while you can use your eShop money on either the 3DS or the Wii U, your Wii points are fucking useless unless you're using them for Wii stuff.
I have like 900 points left. I'm gonna probably pick up something and then just call it a day because anything I can get on the Wii, I can pretty much just emulate.
The only thing that's on the Wii that I can't emulate is Final Fantasy IV: The After Years.
Yeah, although you can also get that on the PSP as the complete collection.
Yeah. So
Anyhow,
I think, to round out the Xbox One, no surprise, Halo 5. Which I find funny is that I haven't played Halo 4, so I have no idea what happens with Master Chief Cortana and whatever that ship was that fell. But apparently he's walking through some desert and he's wearing a poncho.
Which, I mean, what the fuck? It's gone from Halo to
have body armor.
It's gone
Why
from Halo
do you need
to
a poncho?
Olaf. Yeah, he looks so fucking stupid. Come on. He looks like something out of Diablo 2 or something.
Yeah,
and he takes off the hood and he's got this big red crystal coming out of his forehead.
So he's no longer Master Chief. He is now Poncho Chief.
Oh, and what a way to cap off your event. They announced the price point for the Xbox One. $500. That's just US.
I'm going to be honest.
$500 or 500 euros in Europe, which is not the same price.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I thought it was going to be more than that. I thought it was going to be like 700.
You're going to have to get a second job to pay for one.
Yeah. So that was Microsoft.
No, I'm not done with this. The UK price for the Xbox One is, was it 450 pounds? Which, if you do the conversion rate, that's $650.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
The British get fucked on game prices so bad, it's not even funny.
All right, so we move on from Microsoft and to the next conference, EA?
Yes, EA. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. This game looks cute as hell.
I actually missed out on that there.
I didn't see it either. I didn't see any of the EA stuff.
Plants vs. Zombies into like a third-person horde combat shooter game where you play as the different types of plants, like the pea shooter or the cactus or whatever, and you fight against the hordes of zombies, and then bosses come. and it looks actually really cool for even by PopCap game standards. Not even by PopCap game standards, just in general, it has this really nice cartoony look to it. I like the look of it. I was impressed.
And that guy announced Peggle 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Peggle 2, and then he went BAM! There's already animated gifs of him online.
GIFs or GIFs, whatever the hell.
It's funny mentioning PopCap because I went on Steam to see what the hell they decided to do for the first day of E3, and there's like 5 board games up from PopCap. They're like just straight up the board games on Steam.
And they don't have multiplayer compatibility.
I don't know. I didn't really pay attention.
Of course, EA announced all their plethora of sports games: Madden, FIFA, NHL.
Oh, you know what's the big innovation in NBA in EA Sports NBA this year is? The ball actually bounces.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, like apparently it wasn't a separate entity before. It was locked to whichever player currently had it, or as they passed it or whatever. But now the ball is a separate entity of its own and has its own physics and shit.
So if the player fumbles or drops it, it's the ball's fault, not the character.
Exactly.
You know
they showed off Battlefield 4. This is the funny thing. They showed off like a 20-minute playthrough of Battlefield 4 at the Xbox One conference, and then showed another one at the EA one.
I thought the one that they showed at Xbox, I thought that was Titanfall.
Was that Titanfall?
All these games are blending together. Exactly. That's exactly the fucking problem. They all look exactly the fucking same.
I could have sworn that was Battlefield 4 because I saw the brrr at the end. The inception. The
Battlefield 4, inception. That looked pretty cool. I mean, if that wasn't a scripted event, like you could actually just take down the entire building with like actual destructible environments, that was pretty damn cool. But I mean, we've been burned so many times by what these people say you're capable of doing in this game, even though it's just a scripted event.
Yeah, just go from point A from point B and shoot all the Nazis.
Yeah,
or zombies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at EA, we got something I absolutely didn't expect: Dragon Age Inquisition.
So many Spanish Inquisition memes going out there. So many tweets are like, nobody suspects the Dragon Age Inquisition.
I don't even know what to say about that because I don't know how I feel about Dragon Age 3. Because unlike a lot of other people that got incredibly enraged over the ending of Mass Effect 3, I wasn't really that bothered by that. But I was, however, bothered by the way Dragon Age 2 ended. That game pissed me off.
I will admit I have never been able to get into Mass Effect. I have one Dragon Age game, but I got it right around the time that my 360 decided to red ring, so I haven't even started it yet.
Yeah, I haven't played Dragon Age yet. I've got them sitting there waiting to be played, but I hear horror stories about the second one, how it's a big betrayal, the first one, but I don't know. I'll reserve judgment when I actually get down to sit down and play it.
I won't like really say much, but there's a character in the second one who was in the expansion of the first one that kind of does a complete 180 within like the last hour of the game.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, as much as everybody has been hating EA, they also announced a game that a lot of people has been clamoring for a very long time. Star Wars Battlefront 3. Or they're just calling it Battlefront.
About time. I really hope that they take some of the ideas that the original developers had, because there's tons of leaked footage out there. I remember one scene, I think it was on Coruscant. You jumped in a Jedi starfighter, you fly up, you break the atmosphere, you dock inside of a Star Destroyer, all seamless, like seamless, like right into the game, no loading times. Give me that. Like I want a gigantic map like that, and I want. How many players did the old game support? I think it was like 16 on the console, and
I have no clue.
I think it might have been 32 on the console and 64 on the PC.
Battlefield 4 would support up to 64 players. Yeah.
No time. We need some of these massive shooter games on the consoles with games. A lot of people.
I will say I'm gonna be optimistic about it, but I'm hoping they don't fuck it up because you got to remember one thing that Lord of the Rings Conquest was released under EA's banner, and that was meant to be the Lord of the Rings version of Battlefront.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
don't
remember
forget what
that.
EA has done in the past. EA is Japanese for no, so be careful here.
And finally, they ended off the show with the reveal of Mirror's Edge 2.
Yeah, that's what really bugged me about it. Is that, hey, look, we're doing all these sports games, the exact same sports games we do every goddamn year. Hey, look, we got basketball, we got football, we got MMA, we got soccer. Oh, by the way, Mirror's Edge 2. Bye.
I'm actually looking forward to that. I haven't played the first one. That's another thing that's on my to-do list, but I've heard nothing but great things about
Yeah,
the
I've
first
heard a
Mirror's
lot of
Edge.
great stuff about Mirror's Edge. I haven't played it either, but I, I don't even own a current generation system. I own a Wii, which, yeah, okay, doesn't count. I play most of my stuff on the PC now.
Right, well, that was EA. That was they were pretty quick. They were just straight to it and just showing off the games. Up next was Ubisoft's
Ubisoft did pretty damn
conference.
good. Ubisoft had a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, got Aisha Tyler back to host again.
They
She had
announced
the girl wood shirt hashtag.
they announced Far Cry Classic for Xbox Live Arcade.
Oh, I missed that one. That's not even on my list here.
Yeah, supposedly it's coming out in the summer, I think.
And we've got they're sticking with the music stuff there. They're Rocksmith 2014, which I haven't really played, but one of my bosses at work has it because he plays guitar and he swears by it. He says it's really good.
Rocksmith, that's the
Really,
one that actually teaches you how to play.
yeah, it actually teaches you how to play guitar. And
I heard the
instead
first
of,
one was crippled by the fact that there was a horrible lag in
I
between
think
when you
it's,
play it and when it comes out.
I
If they
think
manage
it's
to
been,
fix that, then yeah,
yeah.
that could be pretty damn good.
Yeah, because I've got people that play guitar in real life, and they swear by that game. So if you really want to, if you play guitar, and you'll really enjoy it,
Or
and
you
if
don't play guitar and
you,
you want to learn,
yeah, it actually is a good teaching. So
is that coming out on the
that's
PS3 or the PS4?
I don't see anything announced on that. Well, Rocksmith One is on PS3 and 360 right now,
Oh,
and they're still constantly updating with new DLC like every other week. So.
I just realized you didn't have Far Cry Classic in your notes because it wasn't at the press conference. They announced it today, but they didn't have it at the conference.
Okay. They announced Just Dance 2014. Thank God they're not doing the numeric numbering anymore, so it's not Just Dance 5. It's just Dance 2014. I
So
don't know how
we
to feel
now
about
know it's going to
that.
be just like a sports title.
Yep, new one every year. And I didn't know about this. I didn't know that Ubisoft actually had Trials. So there's the new Trials that's going to be released on the consoles and on mobile, like two different games. But I guess you can trade in between.
Yeah, like keep track of your information on both sides. I haven't played Trials, but I've seen footage of it. It actually seems a lot like a PC game I used to play called Elastomania.
Well, Trials was a PC game originally. Trials HD, I had that on my 360, and I loved it, even though it was just like crippling hard. But it's one of those ones where if you just keep at it, it gets good. Trials Evolution is I haven't bought it yet, but what I've seen on that, like the level creating community is like I don't even know how they can do half of this stuff. Like I've seen people make pinball machines, recreate Missile Command, asteroids. It's crazy what they can do.
Gosh,
They announced.
let's go
They
on to
announced.
the game that I'm most excited for from Ubisoft. South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yes, and they've given us a window of a release date this
The
holiday
holiday.
season.
Holiday 2013.
Yeah,
Or some holiday. You know how video games are.
yeah.
Holiday whenever we feel like it.
No, that's what Cartman actually said. He said some holiday. You know how video games are.
Oh, I can't wait. I was pumped for that game last year's E3 when
Because
Matt Trey
they've
came
had
out.
so many South Park games in the past, but none of them have actually felt like South Park. They felt like fan games that were based on the South Park universe. And you see stuff like the ones that are on the N64, or even they had like a tower defense one on the PC.
Oh
But
yeah, the
I
tower.
think it was on the PC and also on the Xbox.
Yeah, I have it on the Xbox. It's not bad.
I just don't like tower defense games, but I'm a huge fan of RPGs. So, and this one seems like almost well, it's as traditional as it can be with South Park characters, but it seems like a fairly traditional RPG in that sense.
Yeah. And we got new information, or not new information. We got new trailers for Splinter Cell Blacklist, new trailer for Rayman Legends, which will hopefully come out soon, maybe. I mean, it was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive, then they're just like, no, we're going to put it on the other consoles and delay the Wii U.
Yeah.
We got another trailer for Watch Dogs, which we'll get into the next conference because they actually showed more of that, and another trailer for Assassin's Creed 4.
Of course,
Don't be so gloomy about it. Assassin's Creed 4 looks good. It looks fun, but I mean, we might be kind of burnt out on the Assassin's Creed stuff. And of course, it's doing the Pirates thing, which Pirates have kind of started to die out in popularity.
It'll probably be the closest thing to a Pirates of the Caribbean game we get.
Yeah, because that one from I can't even remember the name of the developer. They're the ones that developed Tron Evolution.
Armada of the Damned got canceled.
Yes, that actually looked good.
Hey, this game looks awesome. Let's get rid of it.
One of the ones that really impressed me was Tom Clancy's The Division.
Oh, The Division. That looks really fucking
really
cool.
good.
It looks almost like post-apocalyptic, but only post-apocalyptic by about 3 weeks. So it's almost just to use games that I've actually played, it seems like a third-person multiplayer Fallout. But yeah, of course you have PvP involved in it. I really hope they don't mess with it so that anybody can just kind of steamroll anybody at a lower level, because that really kind of ruins these kind of games. But that looks really fucking cool.
I was kind of hoping they were going to announce something for Beyond Good and Evil 2, but of course, no, they're not. They're just going to sit on that one and keep saying, buy our other shit, and we'll make it eventually.
Yeah, I guess that's it for Ubisoft now. The last one that actually just wrapped about an hour and a half ago that we're still kind of gung-ho about, and that was Sony's press conference. And
Sony's press conference, I'm going to call it Sony won this year.
Yeah.
Sony fucking annihilated the competition. This was amazing.
Let me try to put this into Microsoft's new perspective on things, because they're all about sports and TV and sports. I'm going to try my best to use a sports analogy. I'm not too familiar with football. I know a little bit to get by, but here's my analogy of what happened today.
Use a pro wrestling analogy.
I don't know if I can put this towards I suppose no. Okay. Can I put this in a pro wrestling analogy? No, I'm gonna stick with the pro sports one, because this is kind of extra little twist in Microsoft. Let's go with football. It's the fourth quarter. They're like fourth down. Microsoft needs to get it in the end zone. They're like at the goal line. It's like goal and fourth. They need to just get that in there to win. When they did what they did on Friday or Thursday, I can't even remember now, and clarified this whole always online DRM, which has been like controversial for the last couple of months after what's his name went on that tirade on Twitter with hashtag deal with it.
20 days,
yeah. To explain that, you don't need to always be online. No.
You just need to be online every 24
hours. And if you're not, you can still play offline for an hour. And also, the games that you buy, they're not really yours. You're just leasing them.
Yeah,
we give you a license.
So last generation.
Exactly. You don't really own this. You have a license, and if you want to give this to somebody, like if you want to resell it, you have to jump over all of these hurdles. You have to go through back doors. You have to do all this just for that person to play it.
Approved retailer. You can't just sell it like at a yard sale. You have to sell the game to an approved retailer.
Exactly. So like GameStop. GameStop is going to bend over backwards and pay that licensing fee to Microsoft. No doubt, because that's how they make their money. Like mom and pop, like video game stores, pawn shops that I frequently go to get some video games because they're really super cheap, they're gonna die out because of Microsoft.
Or even if you just want to, even if you're done with the game and you just want to give it to a friend who wants to try it out,
they have to be on your friends list for at least 30 days. And once you get that game back from them, if they said, "Oh wait, I forgot to get an achievement on that," or "I forgot to get the good ending to BioShock 4," whatever they do, you can't. It's like, sorry, you had your chance with that game. You can't have it anymore. That was okay. You snapped the ball. You announced all that crap. You dropped the ball. Sony tonight picked it up.
They don't just drop the ball. They throw the ball 50 fucking yards behind them.
No. They don't drop the ball. They just okay. The snap. They got the ball. They look over to the Sony receiver. They're like, "Oh, just take it. Just take it." They run all the way down to the other end of the end zone for a touchdown because what did they announce? I mean, we'll get to the stuff they did at the beginning, but what did they announce right near the end? Your
Sony.
games are yours.
It works
no
offline. You
games.
can trade games. You can sell them to other people, and you don't ever have to connect your PS4 to the internet.
This was okay. Actually, I have that wrestling analogy. When they announced that, that was the biggest pop. That was the biggest cheer. People were chanting Sony. It was like ECW arena. Someone got put through 50 flaming tables. The crowd went nuts. Not only that, but they, after the crowd settled down, he's like, "Oh, by the way, you don't need to have your PS4 connected all the time." Another big pop. Yeah. It is like, okay, we got gifs of this going around where a PS4 is like taped over someone's head and he's curb stomping Xbox One. I want to put this out there. If anybody with Photoshop or GIF abilities, I don't know, I want you to take that scene from American History X. I want you to Photoshop out Edward Norton swastika and put PS4 on there. The black guy, he tells to fight the curb, put the Microsoft logo. And when Edward Furlong comes out, they go, "No, put a Wii U on that." I want to see that somewhere. Okay, so
yeah,
now I got that
gathered, Sony did very well today.
Now I got that out of the way. Let's talk about Sony.
Well, but the funny thing is,
Sony just brought their A game. They had a really good mixture of indie and AAA titles that they were just promoting the hell out of at this thing.
Yeah, they got for indie. They got another one, a great game coming out from the guys that did Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah,
it's like a retro shooter. I'm looking forward to that.
They have a HD remake of Oddworld. Of Abe's Odyssey, which is like that. I did not expect that to happen. That game wasn't even on my radar.
I don't know the name of the company, but they're actually bringing out Don't Starve, quirky little game that's on Steam right now. I haven't played a whole lot of it. I've seen people playing it. It seems like it's just like it's Minecraft but with a different art style.
It seems like a roguelike where you have to try to survive with randomly generated worlds.
Out of their indie games that they showed, the one I thought looked the most interesting, I can't remember what it was called, but it was that Western game.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You're like, oh yeah, I don't remember the name either.
No. So what else we got? Oh yeah, for some reason we got another trailer and gameplay of The Last of Us, which doesn't that come out tomorrow?
Comes out on Friday.
Yeah,
comes out on Friday.
Still, why not? It's still not out yet, and they're still wanting to get people to appreciate it. So why not pimp it some more? It looks like a really fucking good game. It's trying to be a Game of the Year competitor, and I can totally see it happening.
Well, I think it's around that. Isn't like the Metacritic score on that's like 95 right now. It's like one of the best reviewed games this year.
And it's not even out yet.
That's what happens when you release a good survival horror-ish game while there's like no fucking competition.
Yeah. And of course, it was made by Naughty Dog, who knows how to do really good cinematic style games like this. When I first saw the footage for it back at the last E3, I thought it was just like Uncharted 4. Because it looked very similar to just how they move around the world. It just looked like Uncharted.
And we also got more gameplay footage of Ellen Page Simulator number 2, Beyond
Right.
Two Souls.
Yeah, Beyond Two Souls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Gran Turismo 6. I mean, my same thoughts about the Forza or whatever it was. Gran Turismo 5 actually came out.
Yeah. Well, they came out with Prologue, the paid demo disc, and then they came out with the actual game. I think it got like delayed. Like they announced like it went gold, and they announced the release date, and then they said, "Oh no, we're delaying it again for another 2 weeks." And I think
Gran
after that, people were just like,
I really don't play racing games in that respect, but Gran Turismo seems like the kind of racing game that if you're a gearhead, Gran Turismo is where you go for that kind of stuff, where you can tweak your engine, you can tweak the torque ratio of each of your different gears. And if you like that kind of thing, go ahead. More power to you. But I just never really felt it was all that necessary to create these hyper-realistic games. Because I play video games to escape reality. Why would you spend all this time doing a huge physics engine and then you're still driving down a flat road? The thing that I loved about, like, for example, Wii Sports with the bowling is they do stuff in that game. You created this physics engine for bowling, but they don't limit you to just 10 pins. They have the power throws thing where you go up to, like, 144 pins in the background?
Or you have racing
everyone
games
just-
like Mario Kart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like arcade-style games, but in that respect, I play games to escape reality. If I wanted to go out and get into a fight, I could do that just out on the street. It would kind of suck, but if I'm going to get into a fight, I want to be able to throw fireballs. It's just there's people that like realism, but why limit ourselves to realism in video games? Really, if we could do all this stuff, why not go balls out?
Yeah. What else can I'm just trying to
They
think. Like it was.
announced Batman Arkham Origins.
Well, they
and-
actually they showed gameplay footage. Like it's been announced for at least a month, but they showed gameplay footage of it.
And of course, they have the PS3 exclusive, the 1960s Batman skin.
Sold.
It's stupid, but that's still pretty damn cool.
If we can get an Adam West voice pack,
that
double
would be
sold.
awesome. I bet Adam West would do it. I bet he would. He'd fucking love it. And of course, they announced something that actually personally interested me: the GTA 5 PS3 bundle. I do not have a PS3 yet, and I'm sort of in the market for one. That doesn't look like a bad deal. GTA 5 for the branded PS3, $300, not bad at all.
What else? Oh yeah, we also had the big thing that we were teased at the PS4 conference back in February from Square Enix. They have finally got back to work on Final Fantasy Versus 13, but they just decided, you know what? 13 is so
15.
tainted. Yeah, Final Fantasy 13 is so tainted with how horrible the last 2 games were. We don't know about Lightning Returns yet. How bad that one's going to be. Fuck it, just call it 15.
And it looks like a completely different kind of game anyway.
You know what I find funny about it though is that was already a rumor that they were going to do that before the PS4 announcement. They're just like, no, it's still going to be called Final Fantasy Versus 13. Totally still going to be called that.
And of course, also new from Square Enix, they announced Kingdom Hearts 3.
About fucking time. That's all I gotta say.
This is the way we felt when Capcom finally announced Street Fighter 3. After getting so many versions of Street Fighter 2. Hey, Street Fighter 3 or Third Strike, whatever they called it.
There was multiple Street Fighter 3s.
Yes, of course we're going to probably see multiple Kingdom Hearts 3s as well.
The other thing, when I had this discussion with my girlfriend last week because we had watched there's a really good video series on GameTrailers.com called Timeline where they explain timelines of games, and they just recently posted up Kingdom Hearts, and I keep looking, I'm just like, really, Square, you need to get on Kingdom Hearts 3. Why? Leonard Nimoy ain't got much time left on this earth. He's the main villain of this series. Get him in the recording booth before he croaks. He ain't a Vulcan. He ain't gonna live for 200
I don't want his last big cameo to be from fucking Transformers 3.
No.
I know he was in the new Star Trek, but
Okay.
But it's like how they can never really finish Samurai Jack now because Mako's dead, so he can't voice a crew anymore.
And the other thing I suggested, I'm like, if you're gonna get Haley Joel Osment to keep doing Sora, get him in the recording studio now. Well, first get his ass in the gym so he loses 800 fucking pounds because I heard he's fucking tubs now. But get everyone in there, get all this shit recorded, and get it done soon. Like finish this off.
of course, we haven't even touched on the biggest reveal of the Sony conference, the actual design of the PS4 console.
Yeah, like the thing that they failed at the most at their conference in February is not showing the console.
They probably hadn't decided on a console yet, but they showed us games, which was better than Xbox with the console and no fucking games.
With the TV sports. TV sports.
Xbox, go home.
Xbox, go home, you're drunk.
Yeah, I like the design of the PS4.
It's different. It's not a square.
No, it's an italic square. It's a parallelogram. It's a prism.
It doesn't have a Kinect attached to it.
No, it doesn't have a Kinect attached at the hip, which is nice.
And I think to round it off before we get to the end, they had a few more gameplay demos.
They had
I laughed at
announced as well.
Yeah.
They had one that really seemed interesting, the Order 1886, I think it was called.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That, I don't know what the hell to think of it. It seems like this weird, anachronistic, like, steampunk, Renaissance, medieval thing, but then they're fighting, like, aliens or demons or zombies or something. I honestly can't really name another thing that kind of did that. Maybe Van Helsing? Kind of the Van Helsing style.
Yeah, well, this one seems to be a little bit more towards, well, not really the future, but it just kind of more incorporates that steampunk style of like this can exist. Like, God, I'm gonna butcher his name. Who's the guy that who's the scientist everyone goes? Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla, yeah.
Nikola Tesla, yeah. Like this, it seems to be like if everything he made like works and works well. Bam! You've got this universe. That's the steampunk style, and I'm really intrigued by it. But the other one I was the other one I'm really looking forward to is of course Watch Dogs, which they showed off another gameplay trailer. It looks like you're gonna have co-op play with someone that has a tablet because there was that moment where he's trying to escape and there's a helicopter, and they had hacking on that tablet.
Which, I mean, we saw this last generation. The Wii came out and they had their Wii U controller, and then what happens near the end of the generation? The Kinect comes out, the Sony Move comes out. Then, of course, the Wii U comes and they got their tablet controller. What are we fucking seeing in all the current generations for this stuff? It works with Google Glass, it works with your Android phone, it works on your iPad. Actually, I don't know if it would work on the iPad, but yeah.
Smart Glass does work on the iPad. There is an app for it.
There's an app for that?
Pretty sure.
And
yes.
the PS4 is going to have off-screen play on the Vita for the PS4 games.
What they should do, they should make a PS4 and Vita bundle.
That's what a lot of people are speculating, is that they're going to start bundling Vitas with the PS4 because I think they said that they want
$600 or something.
Well, no, we'll get into that. They said that they want remote play with all PS4 games, so it's going to kind of be mandatory because you got to use that Vita for something.
Of course, what else did they have? They had Transistor from Supergiant Games, or as I would call it, Bastion 2.
They had a nice bit of gameplay from Destiny.
Oh yeah, Destiny.
Yes, that's another thing.
Destiny looks really creative. It doesn't really. It looks like this thing. It does kind of look like every kind of space shooter you've seen, but it looks almost like Halo meets Mad Max.
You know what I thought it looked like from the trailers I had seen before, because they showed one where they were fighting. It looked like they were fighting in outer space, but the gameplay shows they're in kind of a wrecked city. When I saw the designs and I saw them fighting, like some of the cinematic trailers, I was sitting there going, you know what this looks like? This looks like Star Wars if you took the lightsabers out of it.
It almost does, yeah. It almost has kind of a Borderlands vibe to it.
Actually,
just
it
with a
does
lot more,
remind me.
with a bit more color.
It does remind me a lot of Star Wars because there was that point in the game demo where more people showed up, and I guess like an opposite team was coming out, and then I saw like the allies come out, and they looked like they were riding speeder bikes. So there's a lot of Star Wars influence on there. But I got to say about that, Destiny, this is the co-partnership between Activision and Bungie. Now this game is coming out for the Xbox One and I think the 360.
And the PS3.
But the fact that and the PS3, but the fact is that Bungie, the guys that helped put Microsoft on the map with the Xbox with Halo and Halo, like the whole Halo franchise, and then they gave that the 343. The fact that they did not do anything at Microsoft's press conference, that they showed the gameplay, like the premiere gameplay footage, people playing live on stage at Sony's press conference. If the thing of Sony saying that we're not going to do the used game thing, we're not going to do the always online. If that wasn't the curve stomp to Xbox,
it's Bungie joining in.
Bungie joining in.
I think Bungie
I don't want to do this analogy, but this is like
has made a huge mistake.
This is like Sony did the curb stomp, and Bungie
just teabagged the corpse.
Like this is just, and what pains me is that I got this retweet from Xbox Live's Major Nelson, the big old the guy that praises all this stuff. Like, even with all this online DRM, even with the used game thing, Amazon is almost sold out of their pre-orders for the Xbox One already.
Well, you have to think about it. How many people are really thinking about these things? I was watching coverage on it, and they said a lot of people, they're like between like the 13 and 18-year-olds, they don't care what they put online. They know that they have no privacy or they have nothing to hide. So they don't really care about their privacy being always monitored or not being able to play this stuff because they live in a city with a decent internet connection. They are, for all intents and purposes, spoiled, for lack of a better word, I guess. And they want this system. I mean, if you can use the system and you don't mind dealing with the stuff, we're not going to stop you from buying it. But this is a very bad idea that Microsoft is doing this. And if they don't get that message, I don't know what we're going to see happen in the next generation.
And the thing is, you also got to figure there's also going to be a lot of people that are just plain ignorant of what's going on that will get the system and then they'll encounter the issues that are there because of Microsoft and they're going to be like, what the fuck, man?
I could definitely see that happening, yeah.
I mean, as you know, I've talked to Chris all the time about the fact that he works at Best Buy. He gets people that don't understand you can't buy Uncharted on the Xbox.
There's a problem with that 360 controller. It won't connect to my PS3.
So Microsoft, they've announced that it's going to be released in November, obviously before the big holiday season, before Black Friday, I think.
Yeah, just in time for the holiday rush.
Yeah,
which really seems to be the kind of release point for these kind of things.
They've got 6 months. You got 6 months to turn this shit around.
And I honestly do not see it happening.
It won't.
I don't see it happening.
Completely change the infrastructure that they have planned for the Xbox One. I do not see this happening.
They won't change it because they're a corporation and therefore they're incapable of admitting they made a mistake. They'll instead watch the thing crash in a fiery wreckage and then go, how did that happen?
Yeah, so I guess this is our plea to you. If you do not want to see this become standard operating procedure for game companies, do not buy the Xbox One unless they change this stuff drastically. When we can't force you to do one or the other, but these companies, vote with your wallet. Let them know what you want to do. I'm honestly probably going to skip this generation. I might, once Smash Brothers Universe comes out, I'll probably pick up a Wii U, but other than that, the PS4 actually looks pretty good, but I don't even own a PS3. So when the PS4 comes out, I might pick up a PS3.
I want to say, one thing a lot of people aren't thinking about with the Xbox One is, you got people that say, well, I never buy used games anyhow, or whatever. It's like, yeah, but the thing is, all these years down the road, when
You're
say
gonna see a game that's on
when,
your shelf, and you're
well,
gonna, I want to play that again. You put it in, it's like cannot connect to network.
yeah,
Thank you for
yeah.
your business over the last 8 years. But we have shut down the Xbox One. We have shut down the Xbox One console in
Yeah.
December.
If anything
December
happens,
2020.
if anything happens, if the Xbox One does terrible, and as a result they just say fuck it to the console industry, the servers are down, your collection for the Xbox One doesn't exist. If the next system comes out and after a while they get rid of support, your collection doesn't exist. No, don't do it.
And I love that after Sony's press conference is over, on their YouTube channel, they released a 20-second video that said, here's how you trade your PS4 games with your friend. Give it to them.
You trade it to your friend.
You know what it
And
reminds me of? It reminds me of those old Apple versus PC.
Or Nintendo versus Sega.
Well, it reminds me of the old Mac versus PC commercials. It's like Microsoft has a habit of getting people to make snarky commercials about them.
Yeah, and now it's backfiring. It's backfiring hard. So
someone should make a I'm a Xbox One and I'm a PS4. Kind of bring that back. If they want to call it Justin Long and whoever that guy is from the Daily Show that does those commercials, let's get that going again. But man, like I swear, like I said to you, it's like, oh, this video kind of reminds me of the old console wars with Nintendo and Sega. But you said it.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
No, but you said it best. I'll let you say it.
Well, Nintendo is what Genesis isn't. No, we said this is not a console war. This is a mercy killing.
So
I think it's safe to say that Sony won today, but we will not know for sure until the Nintendo press conference tomorrow, early in the morning. I'm going to have to set my alarm for that. Until then, we're probably going to do a short episode after that. But until then, this has been Gamers Without Borders. Johnny, where can they find you?
They can find me at youtube.com/achievementhordejohn, although because of what happened today, that might be changing.
The URL won't be changing, but you might change a show. We don't know, but we'll keep on.
All I got to say is one last thing before we go. Sony, you definitely won, because at the end, like, you gave us the games, you gave us what the console looked like, you gave us a bright future, and then at the end, you're just like, yeah, Microsoft, you might do that, but guess what? No used games restriction. No always online. And guess what? Our console is $100 cheaper.
Yeah, that's pretty much the last nail in the coffin.
Drop the
Ozzie,
mic, walk
where
off
can they
stage.
find you? Ozzie, where can our viewers find you?
Oh, sorry. They can find me on YouTube, or they can find me on planetarcane.blogspot.com.
And you can find all of us on reviewersunknown.com, and you can find me on testzero.net. Everybody, take care.